The breaking news tonight, former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted just days after Donald Trump directed his DOJ to charge him. Joining us at the table is Josh Rogin. He's the lead global security analyst at The Washington Post and intelligence and author of Chaos Under Heaven. Josh, as we were just discussing, the big question that's hanging over this case is whether or not the fact that Donald Trump directed this prosecution is going to matter. And also, I think other people are probably wondering what other prosecutions are coming next. I mean, we know it's not just Comey. It's Letitia James, Adam Schiff, Lisa Cook, John Bolton, Miles Taylor, Chris Krebs, John Brenner. These are all people that Trump has said he wants to see prosecuted.
Right. Does it matter? Well, I don't think this is the first time a president has intervened in law enforcement. I hearken back to a time when they used to be a little bit embarrassed about it, where they weren't so proud of it. I think that's the norm that's been shattered here. Now they're just doing it out in the open. Remember when Bill Clinton met with Loretta Lynch on the tarmac? It was like a scandal for like 6 months. And that's because that was bad. We thought it was bad for the people under investigation to be politically motivated and for the presidents to intervene in law enforcement. That's all gone now.
Well, but I mean, just to be clear, I mean, Bill Clinton wasn't president at the time.
Exactly.
They had a conversation, and it was just the appearance of a conversation that caused everybody to lose their minds then. Now it's the president sending messages saying prosecute him.
But to your point, it's not really about Comey. James Comey is going to be fine. He's an amazingly successful person with a lot of resources. And there are not just the people that you mentioned, but another 100 people who don't have those resources, who now have to worry about if the Justice Department is going to come after them for criticizing Trump. And those people, if they get indicted, may not be able to afford it. Their careers may be impacted. And then there's another huge group of people that will have a chilling effect. And I think that's the real point of this. It's not really about the indictment itself. It's about the chilling effect it sends to anyone who might want to speak up against Trump. And that chilling effect is real, and it affects a lot of people that names we'll never know. And then, we had all these leaders from the UN here this week, and I was talking to all of them. There are a lot of countries out there where the presidents get to use law enforcement to silence political dissent. The Chinese government does this. The Russian government does this. The Turkish government does this. The Saudi Arabian government. Do we want to be that? Is that what we like? Is that good? Are we going to keep going down that road? Or are we going to have a rule of law where...
I would have loved to have heard this speech from you when Michael Flynn was getting indicted, Rick Gates, George Papadopoulos, Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, Jeffrey Clark. That was all done under Democrats. And you guys are like, man, I tell you what now, the weaponization. Welcome to our world. Congratulations for finally joining us.
But it's a straw man because
it's not a straw man when you're holding people accountable for what they did.
Yeah, but that's just...
There's an abuse of power that happened in the last administration. I just gave you the names. And you're acting like they never did it.
Ben, do you think it matters? Do you think that it matters what those people were accused of doing?
I think it matters that you have on the record a former administration that went after people.
Okay, can you answer my question?
I'm answering your question. You don't like what I'm saying.
Do you think it matters? Does it matter whether or not those people actually did the things that they were accused of doing?
I'll give you a great example of answering this question. When James Comey decided, I'm going to go into the Situation Room and I'm going to hang out with a guy and entrap him.
You could literally just answer that by saying, yes, it matters, no, it doesn't matter.
I go back to the facts.
Do you think it matters?
Well, I think the facts matter.
Do you think that James
Comey...
Do you think that...
I said this last night.
When Michael Flynn was charged with lying to the FBI, does it matter whether he did it or not?
I think it's pretty clear they knew they were setting him up to lie.
When Roger Stone was charged and convicted of lying to Congress
on live TV.
and lying to Congress,
that was going after your political
opponent. Does it matter to you whether he lied or not?
I think it should matter when you lie to Congress.
So does it matter to you whether he lied or not?
I think we're talking about that right now with James Comey.
Yes or no?
I just said I think it should across the board.
All right,
but your argument is basically that maybe it's something bad, so we can do something bad.
Josh, hang on one second.
If it's bad, it's bad.
I don't even want to go down the road of. I don't even want to go down the road of the false equivalency, because I'm asking you, do you think it matters whether the facts support charges or not?
100%.
Because if
you
it
guys
matters,
said at the table tonight that there's no facts for James Comey to be indicted.
Hold on a second.
You don't know that.
Hold on a second, Ben. If it matters whether or not the charges are substantiated or not, you would be just as upset about Michael Flynn lying, about Roger Stone lying and then getting pardoned, as you are about the allegation of James Comey lying. Would you not be?
I am angry when anyone uses the government to go after their political opponents' the way that the last administration did it.
So that
Full
only is a valid argument if, in fact, it was the government just going after people for things they didn't do.
They went after Donald Trump for things he didn't do.
But if they did, in fact, commit crimes, do you think they should be prosecuted for it?
If you commit a crime, regardless of the party you're in, I think you should be prosecuted.
Okay, well then I think that really answers your question, Ben.
So do you think they entrapped? Do you think James Comey was there to entrap General Flynn? Yes or no?
The facts
it's a simple question.
It
should matter, but you won't answer that question.
But you're
presupposing,
Abby,
No, hold on.
Comey didn't commit a crime.
Listen,
exactly. You're saying he's innocent, but anyone that would Trump was around is guilty.
Listen, my friends, I am not presupposing
I wish you guys treated Trump that way.
James Comey has not been convicted of a crime. That is actually the presumption of innocence, which I know you know well about.
Sure.
That presumption of innocence, he actually has. We had a whole discussion here about whether or about
change if he's convicted.
It will absolutely change if in a court of law he is convicted. But all we have right now are the facts of the case as we know it.
Which do seem kind of damning to the average American.
There are things that we don't know. There are things that we don't know. But just to be clear, the presumption of innocence isn't me giving James Comey a break. It's actually a right that he has in this country. Now, on the other hand, some other people that you were just claiming were, politically persecuted were actually convicted. They were actually convicted.
Are you saying? Let me ask you.
So
overall,
do you think it matters whether or not that those processes were valid?
Of the whole list they give you, is there anyone on there you think, hey, you know what? They got a raw deal. I think the last administration went after them for political persecution. Do you think the way they set up Flynn and entrapped him, and the way that James Comey got on stage and mocked it? Do you not think there's a problem with that?
Your argument
I'm being
is,
serious. You won't answer the question because you know I'm right on this.
The answer is
he got on stage and literally mocked the fact that he was so trusting and didn't call an attorney.
You're just
I'm asking you a question.
That's
true. Comey is narcissistic.
Either political persecutions are good or bad.
Like to use this idea of entrapment in a way that is totally incorrect. It is not entrapment to ask somebody a question and then they lie in answering that question. That's not what entrapment means.
So you think it was totally above board, even though he literally said it wasn't?
Michael Flynn
you sent a couple FBI guys in there.
could have told the truth, and that would have